This week, we backflip with a cigar, the rookie goes binary blue, and we add a little fly wire to the 8. I am your host, Jacques Slade, and this is the weekly sneaker review.
My kick's on fire.
The Nike Zoom Rookie LWP has been spotted in several colorways over the last couple of months, including this blue-black, this one in white and blue, and this version in the Memphis Express colorway, which is all red, and I actually really like this colorway. However, over the last week, it's been spotted in two new colorways, which is binary blue and eggplant. Now, as you can see, the shoe shares a metallic sort of tint to the upper, which is also echoed on the shoe's translucent outsole. Now, according to Sole Collectors, these shoes were revealed by Nike Sportswear basketball, footwear, and apparel lead designer Mark Dolce. That's the Nike Zoom Rookie LWP in binary blue and eggplant. Todd Bratrud is best known for his 420 inspired sneakers, including the Cheech and Chong Dunk from this year and the Skunk Dunk from last year. This time, he has kept the smoker theme alive with a cigar-inspired sneaker created with the skate park of Tampa. The model features a burgundy nubuck and brown suede on the upper with a black and gray outsole, which represents a cigar being smoked, which is pretty cool actually when you think about it. Look for the Nike Dunk SB Cigar to drop at select Nike SB retailers later this month. It's weird to think, but at one point, Air Jordans were created for you to actually play basketball in. Jordan Brand is going back to those days with a new version of the Air Jordan 8, dubbed the 8.0. The model shares the same symmetry as the original Air Jordan 8, however the side panels have been switched out and flywire has been added. I had a chance to play with these at Sneaker Pips a few weeks ago, and you guys will definitely be pleasantly surprised when you get them in your hand and you get to actually feel and touch and see the shoe in person. It's definitely different than when it looks online. I tried to grab a couple pics for you guys here, and I'll show them here for you guys to get a look at those. And make sure you hit the post down below because it'll have a lot more pictures of the shoe, but I definitely think you guys will be pleasantly surprised when you actually get a look at them. That's the Air Jordan 8.0, available in red and blue later this fall. Last week, seemingly out of nowhere, the Air Jordan 3 Retro Flip popped up. The model, labeled as a premium model, does a bit of a switch with the material blocking and uses elephant print for the majority of the upper, restricting tumbled leather to the toe and to the heel. The shoe is primarily black, however, there are some gray hits on the outsole and on the branding. As of right now, that's really all the information we have, but you know as well as I do, we will let you know as soon as we find out more. That's the Air Jordan 3 Retro Flipped. Coming in at number 1 is the shoe that dominated the blogs, Twitter, Facebook, felt like everything last week, the Nike Mag 2011. Now listen very closely, this is the Nike Mag 2011. According to Tinker himself, the 2015 model is still in the works, which is really exciting and news. But all that aside, the 2011 Nike Mag was created to help raise money for the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. 1,500 of the sneakers have been created and they are available now on eBay. If you'd like to bid, make sure you go to nikemag.ebay.com. They're putting up 150 pairs today between September 8th, which was last week, and September 18th. If you want to get your bid in, I definitely recommend you do it sooner than later because I'm sure as we get closer to the end of the auction, it's going to be tougher and tougher to get yourself a pair. And just know that when you bid, Nike has agreed to give 100% of the proceeds to the foundations, which is really incredible. So that's the Nike Mag 2011 back for the future. Let's move on to my personal picks. Welcome to my personal pick. This is where I get to pick 3 pairs of sneakers that I really like that didn't quite make it into the top 5. Coming in at number 1 is the Air Jordan 3 Oregon Ducks PE. It must be really nice to have an alumni like Tinker Hatfield at your school because you get the Air Jordan 3 customized for your school. As you can see, it has the O on the tongue and the duck feet on the heel, which is pretty hot to me. Coming in at number 2 is the adidas adiRose 2.0. This is the second signature sneaker for the NBA's MVP from last year. They definitely look a little slimmer than last year's model, and I'm kind of looking forward to wearing a pair. I didn't get to wear any last year, so hopefully I can get my hands on a pair for this year. And it looks like they're going to be dropped exclusively at Foot Locker. So keep that in mind when you're looking for a pair. And finally, it's the Solebox times the Saucony Shadow 5000 Three Brothers pack. These shoes were inspired by the three creators of Solebox, which is a sneaker boutique in Berlin. And I just really like the colorways on these. The blue, the gray, and the black is definitely hot. I'm going to definitely try and get my hands on each pair of these. However, I'm not sure that I'm going to do that because Solebox is in Berlin and I am in sunny California. But those are my personal picks. I hope you guys like those. Let's move on to the question of the video. Last week for the question of the video, I asked you guys a similar question to the question I asked you the week before that, and that question was, what would be the first thing you do if you worked for Jordan Brand? But this time I wanted you to do it as a businessman. As you would expect, this kind of changed up the answers from you guys. It was no longer about complaining about the quality and the prices. You guys expanded the way you thought about it, which I thought was really dope. So I'm going to read a couple of the responses. The first two are from the website. Here's one from Justin Williams, and he says, to think as a businessman, I would instead making more colorways for retro pairs 1 through 23. I would make new Jordans to his old number 45. So basically what he's saying, instead of making Jordans just from 1 to 23, he would make a Jordan line series up to 45. Like this year we had the Air Jordan 2011. He would have given that a number instead of calling it the Air Jordan 2011. It would have been number 30 or whatever model it is up to this point. Good point. I think that would have been a really great idea since Michael did wear 45 for a little while. And the second one from the website is from One Sakol. I hope I said that right. It says, if I was a businessman for Jordan Brand, I would set worldwide release dates or at least limited availability for Europe and the rest of the world, because some models, such as the 13 Ray Allen, One Band, or the 7 Year of the Rabbit, are too much victims of speculation or very hard to find at decent prices in Europe. So basically what he's saying is America gets all the good sneakers, and we get some good sneakers in Europe, but the Jordans are pretty much cut off from those in Europe. And then when we do get a chance to get them, we have to get them from resellers who charge us crazy prices, which is definitely understood. I'm sure there's a huge market for those sneakers in Europe. So good point, One Second. Now from YouTube, this one is from Maisel Baptist. I personally would invest more into the marketing of the Air Jordan clothing. I personally think that it is not advertised as much as it should be. I would open Jordan Brand franchise stores to make our product more exclusive. That is a very good idea. Can you imagine like a Jordan Brand store, kind of like an Apple store that has exclusive product? I don't know if many of you were out here for All-Star Game in California for this year, but Jordan Brand took over the foot action in the Culver City Mall, and it was crazy. Like, it was Jordan Brand sneakers everywhere, just everything from the 1s to the 23s. Had a little display. They had clothing. Definitely make a good point, and that's another good point about the clothing. We don't see a lot about the Jordan Brand clothing as much as we used to, so that's definitely something, Jordan Brand, they're watching. So hey, we want to see more about the clothing, get some more clothing out here, like the basketball sneakers, the basketball shorts and the shirts and the socks and things like that. So FYI, Jordan Brand. And finally, this one is from Disaster Shoes. I would make more of an emphasis on the Jordan of the year, like 2010 or 2011. Making an iconic sneaker a very big deal at the origin of the release will make an impact on people when they retro the shoe in the future. Therefore, people feel a sentimental value and put down the dough. So he feels like there wasn't enough emphasis put on the Air Jordan 2011 this year. That there was so many, maybe just because there's so many retros going on, that you don't really have a chance to focus on the shoe that was released. So that's something to look at. So next year, let's take a look at that and see what Jordan Brand does, and see, maybe we can submit some marketing plans. Tell them, hey, we really like this idea. Let's do this. Let's build on that. See, you guys are moving on up. You guys are marketing geniuses now. Anyway, well, for this week, the question of the video is going to be along the same lines. I'm changing it just a little bit. I kind of mentioned this earlier in the video. How many of you actually wear your Air Jordans to do what they're supposed to do, which is play basketball? I have a feeling I'm going to get some very interesting responses from you guys regarding this question. Again, question of the video is, do you wear your Air Jordans to play basketball? and be nice in the comments. Let me know in the comments. Or actually, you know what? You guys leave a video response if you want to. I want to just start putting some of your videos up. We'll incorporate them into the video. So if you leave a video response, leave a video response. Try to keep it to like 15 to 30 seconds. Let me know your response to the question of the video. Well, that is the end of this week's weekly review. If you missed last week's episode, then you can watch it right there as always. And make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. It definitely helps us out here at Kicks on Fire. And it also helps you out because you will know exactly when a new video is posted. And we plan on doing a lot more videos with shoe reviews and event coverage and all that sort of thing. So just subscribe. Click the subscribe button. All it takes is one click. If Twitter and Facebook is your thing, then that information is down in the description. As always, this is your weekly sneaker review. I am your host, Jacques Slade, and I really, really appreciate you guys. And I will see you next week. Peace. Much been in love with carbon fiber ever since I saw them on the low top Air Jordan 11s at All-Star Weekend. So that's that, the Air Jordan 6 Rings carbon fiber. Next up is the Nike Air Max Griffey Fury Freshwater. Now, while I'm not exactly a fan of the Freshwater and the Nike Air Max